Okay, how you doing today? This is my health and counseling time for Dr. Gibson, and we have a client here. So can you tell them your name and age? Well, tell me your name and age.
Yeah. My name is Barbara Smith, and my age is 73.
Okay. So I'm just gonna ask you. Can you tell me two words that best describe you and why?
Two words that best was just let's see to describe me.
Take your
I'm
time.
a servant. I like to serve people,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a family person.
A family person and a servant. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's nice. Okay, so what do you think your greatest success is, and the thing that gives you the most pleasure, present and past, either way?
Well, I feel like I had a lot of successful things happen to me in my life. And number one is after I was saved and met Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
and my life changed in a different direction. And it's just been great from there. Of course, you're always going to have trials and tribulations, so that's just life.
Yeah.
But you know who you are and who you belong to, so that helps make it smooth out all during the day. I am a director of our church a community service,
Mm-hmm.
and we meet all different personalities and people from all walks of life. And sometimes it can become difficult, but because of you can put yourself in someone else's place and you just step outside of yourself so that you can have the love and compassion for other people. And I feel like that doing this particular ministry that have really grown me in my personal life and my spiritual life,
Mm-hmm.
because it make me more concerned of other people and make me more patient and be able to deal with all the different personalities. When you say community service, it's not only just dealing with food, giving out food on a weekly basis, but that's what we do. But it also people have other problems. Sometimes they just need a prayer. Sometimes they need some type of counseling, not professional counseling, but just lifestyle things that they're going through that you can give them a word or advice because of the things that you have gone through before. Of course, at 73 years old, I have gone through quite a lot, raising three boys and my wonderful grandson, in which that's one of the greatest things I've done in my life is raise him. He have been such a blessing to me down through the years. So I say everything have its purpose. Everything happened to us have a purpose and a reason. We might not see it right then,
Mm-hmm.
why, but sometimes it's not all the time that we should understand why. All we have to do is trust God, do what He calls us to do what you need to do, and then God will just bring you through, and just trust Him, and He'll show you at the end. At the end, that you will see how wonderful things is. Because my grandson have really and truly been a blessing to me. Like when my car wouldn't start, he took me to community service this
Mm-hmm.
morning. He came back to pick me up, and he wasn't here. I wouldn't have nobody to do it. So everything have its purpose and its time and place.
So would you say the thing that gives you the most pleasure is like the church community service scene?
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
I love serving people.
Okay. So based off of all that, I can assume this next one. But what do you think the highlight of your day today was?
Okay, the highlight of my day
Mm-hmm.
was that people just comes to me in this crisis that we in right now, and even though we are in a crisis, and they still, they'll come to you and say, tell me, Miss Barbara, I'm so thankful for what y'all doing down here for us in the church, because a lot of people right now, they're closed down,
Mm-hmm.
and even though everything don't, we don't seem act like it sometimes, but this particular person, he said, I appreciate it, and we really love you. Said if it wasn't for Ephesus, I don't know what I would do sometimes, so we really appreciate it. That's a highlight of my day, when all the hard work we do,
Mm-hmm.
and then people just come up and just say, I appreciate what you're doing for us. And that just makes you just want to keep doing it
Doing it,
over
yeah.
and over, you knowing that you're really helping the community. That's what it's all about, is serving the community.
Okay. I'm already getting a feel for you. So can you identify two people who are and maybe were the most influential people in your life? And you can tell me how? You can start with one. And take your time.
think the people that would been most influenced in my life is some pastors that I have had. You know, in the past, it was Pastor Earl Stoddard.
I heard about him.
And Pastor Gene Donaldson. They've been the most influence in my life because they show me that whenever you have a problem, you have a need, that they're always able to sit down and listen to what you, and don't be judgmental. And so that is an important issue of my life, because then I can take that in my personal life and do it with other people, that you don't judge other people. We really never should judge. And these men of God, and they have really, you know, showed me that in my life. And I'm a type of person that when someone influenced my life, and which is very seldom that they do, and that I can take that lesson from them and carry it on in my personal life, and then I can do the same thing, you know, in somebody else's life. And so that is the two people that I know have influenced me the most. But by then, you know, I was real grown then, but in my younger life, you know, I'm not a person to be easily influenced by other people. So it has to be something extraordinary for me, to make an impact on me, because I'm not easy to be influenced. You know, it got to be something different. It got to be something that I recognize that I need. And if you know yourself, because once you know Jesus, you're gonna know yourself. Because if you really want to, He'll show you yourself. So I know myself because I asked for the Lord to show me myself. And so when these men give me this advice, I know it's something for me. And I can take that and pass it on to someone else. The love, compassion, patience, and all of that to another person. Love.
So you would say like the best aspects of what they gave you, you model your character after. Like,
yes, okay. I can model my character after.
Okay. So, what is an experience that you're looking forward to soon? You know, we're not in the best of times.
Okay, my greatest...
We're not in the best of times right now, but...
Okay, my experience that I'm looking forward to. This is my 4th year for doing community service. And after this year, I'm planning on resigning from this position and give someone else a chance to do it if they want it. And what I want to do is be able to spend time with my great-grandchildren. I was working when my children came along. I was working when my grandchildren was growing up. So now that I'm older, I have time to spend with my great-grandchildren. And they are like young children.
Very young,
you know, and so I am looking forward to that. Taking kids and walking them to the school bus and meeting the school bus and eating while the parents work.
Small things.
Yeah, that's the kind of things that I missed.
You
know, that having to work a job. Things I missed.
So do you think that like the longer you've been around, do you think that the people, the cliche that they say the wiser you get, you know, the older you are, you think that's true? Like, you think you see some things that you never would have seen as if you were younger?
Could you say that again?
So, like, you know how they say the older you get, like, the wiser you get? So, you know, so you think that cliche is true? Like, do you think you've seen some things now that you understand that you didn't get?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and it seemed like, so they say every 10 years your priorities change. You know, when you're young, everything got to be done right now, right then, when you're young. And what was really important to you, the most important things to you, as you get older, these little trivia things, that's exactly what they seem to you then, trivia, that you don't put a whole lot of stock to them. This right here, just, you know, you would say, well, I can remember the time where this would just throw me over the edge. But now that I'm older, it's not even important. Things that you think is so very important now, when you get older, that I think your value change. You know, is more of you have more of a mature thinking. You know, and little trivia stuff just don't throw you over. So you know, some things is just not important.
And so would you link you getting wiser to you having a stronger relationship with God as well?
Yes, most definitely. With me getting wiser, because now it's just like everything else. Everybody doesn't just get wiser as they get older. Because I see people that's older, close around my age, and some maybe in that 60s, and they don't, the things that they do and the things that they say, it doesn't seem like they getting wiser with age, you know. But like you said, I believe that it have to do with your relationship with Christ, you know. And I have always loved God ever since I was accept Him as my Lord and Savior when I was really young, but I was about 12. And that made an impact in my life. And Jesus always was an important factor in my life since then. And as I grow, the more you learn, and you just become closer, closer to you, closer to me, you know, as I grow. And then I think the experience, at my age, I think the experience of raising my grandson at my age, it did a lot to make me wiser too, because things is a whole lot different. You know, children is a whole lot different
than they used to be.
So you have to be willing to change with the
the
young
times,
people of today. Yeah, and it don't have to be a radical change, but it's just a change that you have to make, because what worked yesterday, it doesn't work today. But that doesn't mean that God's word changes. It's just that people attitude change. You have to take a different road or different aspect, or working from a different direction. Approach, you know, to deal with different situations. So you have to be able, you have to be susceptible to change. You know, and some people don't like change, but I'm telling you, change is good, because if you just stay the same way all the time, it's just like water just laying in a sink or a lake and it don't move. It comes stagnant,
it's flat,
and stinky, and it just don't have no purpose, no use for nothing. You can't use it for nothing. So that's the way we can get too. But as we have a good relationship with Christ, we have a tendency, we grow. If you don't grow, if you don't go forward, you always go back. Okay. And so you have your opportunities to grow. And I just love that aspect of that. And then and what I also love, not being wise, and that young ladies that like maybe about in their 30s and 40s, and that I always have a great understanding, like what they going through or what they feeling. I can look in their face, because that age, especially when you're raising children and you're working a job, it's a difficult time. And so had God have given me the wisdom and brought me through that phase of my life, and then I can share. I can share with them. I can share, yes. And I say, you know, because it's like sometimes then with young people and young mothers and young fathers, and you have a tendency to have too great an expectation of your children. You don't give them a chance to breathe. You don't give them a chance to know where they are going. We always want to dictate every phase and every step of your life. So you need to kind of like step back and say, what do you really want to do? So they can be able to have an input what you want to do with your life. You know, it's not what you want them to do with your life, because that's not gonna work. It's what you want, what they want to do with their life, and they can relate to you. If you have that relationship with young people, and you know, that's what I tell them. You know, you just got to give them a chance, step back and give them a chance to grow. And,
so what would you do if, let's say, you tell somebody, you ask them what they want you, like, what do you want to do with your life, and you disagree with what they say? How would you handle it?
I don't disagree with what they say, because I don't step on people's their dreams. You know, so because I don't know what they can accomplish through what they want. Because if you have a passion for what you want to do and what you believe in, then you'll do well in it. So I don't ever say, I don't think you should do that, because it's no place for it in society, or you're not going to make this amount of money, or you won't be able to take care of yourself with that. No, I don't say that. I said, well, if you work hard enough at it and you believe you can do it, then do it. Yeah, and I think every person have a right to choose their direction. I'm not talking about a destructive direction, and I think everybody should ask their children what they want to do, even if they're young and they might think they know exactly what they want to do, but before they get to where they're going, they might have changed their minds 2 or 3 times. But that's okay. Still, don't step on their dreams. If in any way you need to encourage, boost them up in what they want to do, and help them along the way. That's my personal feeling about that, and that is something that I practice. Yeah.
So when do you step in if, let's say, they're pursuing their dream and you see that either it's not working or it's the wrong thing, or they're on a path of going downhill? Where would you ever step in?
Okay, what would you say? What do you mean by going down here? When you first start your career, when you first start a career, and it might not take off at first the way you want it to take off, but that doesn't mean that your life is going downhill because this particular thing is not working. So what I would say, because I know, with my children, what I would say, just try again. Just think about what you're doing. Think about what it takes to get to you, for you to get to where you want to be. And just try again. So you never know if they have a passion for what they're doing. And even though it's not working out right then, I don't believe in quitting in the middle of a process. If you start something, and that's something that I learned down through the years, that if you start something, if you have a passion for it, you will succeed at it, and just pray along the lines, because I can't see if you have a passion for something, like if you in school and all of your life, I want to do this, I want to be this, and then when you get into it and it seems difficult and you quit. No, you never quit. You never quit. You go on, and then if you decide that this is not what I want, and it's sincerely that you think that you're going to dislike this, it's not because it takes too much work. It's not because you're lazy and you don't want to do the best that you can in the situation. No, it has to be like something that you know deep within yourself that it's not going to work for you. That this is not what my life gonna be about. Now, see, you make that decision, then later on in life, then you'll go and say, oh, I wish I had kept my first dream. You can't blame mama, you can't blame daddy, because they give you the room to succeed at what you want to succeed at, encourage you, help you financially, and all of that.
And if you stop, it's your fault.
If you stop, it's your fault. You don't have nobody to blame but yourself. So me, as an older person, I would tell all these young people and to follow their dreams. If you have a passion for something, I don't care how difficult it might seem to you right now, or how far out of reach it seems to you right now, pursue your dreams, because the outcome is going to be great, and pray along the way. And I'm not talking about a person that want to pursue something they're going to end up in their destruction. Some people want to pursue stuff out here, materialistic stuff out here that will actually kill them in the end. I'm not talking about that kind of dream. I'm talking about
valid, passionate.
Yeah, valid, passionate dreams that you have for your success of your life. That you know that you're going to enjoy going to work every day, even if you're working for somebody else or whether you're working for yourself. You're going to be compassionate for it, whatever way it goes. And hopefully, when you get to where you need to be, you can work for yourself. And maybe not first beginning off with, but somewhere down the line, you need to branch out and try to work for yourself. So that's gonna take it's gonna take a lot of thinking. It's like, why you working? What kind of investments I want? I need a strong 401k. I need people to talk about with what kind of stocks would be good for me now. And because by you being young, all you have to do is take your resources and you get them and just leave them, and they'll grow. and that's how a lot of people become millionaires. Not saying that that money is the main issue of what you're doing, but if you have lots of money, you can help a lot of other people. If you always struggling yourself, you really can't help anybody else. You know, financially, I'm speaking. You can do it mentally. They can see what you do, but you know, that I always thought that that was a good way for a young person to go, to think about your future now while you're in college. You know, you're gonna think about, you know, while you working and 22, 23, you got to be really into your investing and looking out for what your future is. You know, and talk to people about it. Take classes on it.
You have to be your biggest supporter.
Yeah, you know, and take classes on it. Know what you're doing. You know, because knowledge is power. You know, without knowledge, you know, like the Bible said, the people perish. Without knowledge, the people perish. So you always got to have knowledge.
Okay.
That is your strong point right there, knowing what you're doing. Okay.
I got a lot more out of this than I thought I was going to. So basically, I'm going to summarize all the information I gathered from you.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you about the strengths that I see in you. So I wrote some stuff down, but honestly, I do believe that you're a hard worker. I believe that you believe in people's dreams. I believe that you support people. I believe that you're like a friend to the community. And I think that's a real good quality to have because no one has that. So hearing the way you talk, like, I know people in my family don't even speak like that. Like my grandma, they're from the island, so they're very strict on everything when it comes to piercings and hair. I can't do anything. And I'm talking to you as like a breath of fresh air because a lot of people don't have that view on the world anymore. And I think we need people like you still, to talk to young people because no one has that encouragement. You have the grandson, you encourage him. Like I could tell, you know, he's really into what he's doing, and it's because he has you as a backbone. So that was very informative. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Ms. Barbara.
You're welcome.
And
okay, so that's done.
Yeah, that's my assignment.
Okay.